Just wanted to welcome you back to another episode of the Breakdown Besties podcast. We are your besties. I'm Ananya.
I'm Akshay.
And together we have about a combined experience of 14 years in the film industry, working on all sorts of different shows like Mismatch, Rana Naidu, Inside Edge. So with the Breakdown Besties podcast, our intention is to break down scripts for you, just like they would in film school, where you study a scene, you go on and see what makes the scene great, what makes it work, what makes it what it is.
And
Today, the film that we'll be breaking down for y'all is a classic 2003 Bollywood, when we had some of the best in the industry, when we went to the theater and actually laughed because the jokes were good and we were able to like suspend our disbelief, I think.
wow.
So the film today is your favorite Gunda with a Golden Heart, starring Sanjay Dutt in Munnabhai MBBS. Go into one of the most important writing tools, which is often overlooked, but it's crucial to making sure your story actually has a spine that carries you through all the emotional beats. And that is your hero's journey. The reason I think hero's journey is so important is that, yes, it's formulaic, blah, 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 but it's formulaic for a reason, right? It's because that even if your story is weak in several other ways, if you hit the beats in a hero's journey, you know that there's a certain emotional arc your characters will be going on. And that provides a certain entertainment and journey value to your audience. And
And with what that's interesting with Hero's Journey is that, it gives you a slight leeway, I think, that
Mhm.
even if you've not perfected your character work, uh, at least
Yeah,
you're still taking your audience on a journey. So
journey. Yeah, yeah.
obviously I love when the character work is great, but oftentimes, and especially in big budget commercial films, you're not expecting something very profound or gut wrenching.
Mhm.
That feeling doesn't come from that. And I think uh, a good hack to that is if you can like plot it in hero's journey.
You exactly. So let's go into the hero's journey of Munna Bhai,
Yeah,
the main character.
yeah,
And yeah, okay. So what I have first is the ordinary world, which is the opening image. Where the ordinary world is when you see your character in their day-to-day life, what they do, how they live. And in Munna Bhai's world, it's very well established. We open with a wonderful chase sequence, which has so many twists and turns. I can't wait to break that scene down.
yeah.
We go into our scene breakdown. You see that he's this man who's always beating everyone up, etc. Then you immediately see that his ordinary world also encompasses, and however you pronounce that English
Encompasses.
medium, no, encompasses,
Okay.
encompasses.
It
Yeah, sorry,
contains.
mom and dad. I promise I went like I paid attention in school. But the lie to his father.
Hmm.
So the lie to his father is the fact that they think he's doing medicine when he's not. And we also see establish that he's single and he wants to fall in love and Chinky, Dr. Asana's daughter, is someone he is
Hmm.
gunning for.
I have a slightly differing opinion about.
Okay.
I felt that the ordinary life is
Hmm.
essentially your first few scenes up till the point where the dad comes and he realizes
Okay.
the facade, and
Hmm.
say, so that's that, uh, I like the flip of how he is as
Hmm.
a person.
Hmm.
Also, we come to know about his character that he is quite ethical as a gunda. And then ultimately, when his dad comes around and we see the flip,
Hmm.
how they convert their house into a fake hospital. And
Hmm.
until the dad proposes that, oh, you need to get married now, to me, I would call that as a call to action.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Because it just felt more organic that this is like his father wouldn't have like his this wouldn't um his life wouldn't have changed, or we wouldn't have gone into this movie right now if the father wouldn't have said you need to get married now. Had
Yeah,
so
I agree
that
with you.
so
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
why I felt that was a call to action, because that's what starts our story for this film right now.
I agree with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think definitely. Yeah. Because that is the call to action. And what you have then is the refusal to the call.
Yeah.
I think where he, despite like the opportunity to admit to the truth
Mm.
that I am not a doctor, I can't marry her, he furthers the lie.
Yeah.
He says that I'm going to keep, he says, call me. That he's at Dr. Asthana's house waiting for Chinky. Someone
Yeah.
calls and he's like, हाँ दो bottle glucose चला देना उसको.
Yeah.
So that
And
is refusal of the call. Right.
refusal of the call, and he also goes ahead with the lie when he says, "Ki, my life is very hectic. How will anybody understand my life if
Yeah.
like what the life of a doctor entails?" And that's when the
Yeah.
father goes one step ahead. He's like, "That's what I know your life, like your life, and hence I've chosen a
Yeah.
girl who is also a doctor." So,
Yeah.
uh, and that's what propels us into, I would say, okay, so this is what I noticed about this film, that
Hmm.
your first few beats of the hero's journey up till you're crossing the threshold are very closely stuck to each other. It happens in
Yeah.
a very quick span of time, which is, I think, great, because all of them
Hmm.
essentially, the first five beats essentially um, combine your first act of the film. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then and then once the moments after that, your act two is really long. Like it's
Yeah.
very long.
And there's almost no act three.
Yeah, yeah. Act three is like literally like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
that's what. So then, when I think when the call when the refusal of the call happens, uh, he we go into the next plot beat of our hero's journey, which is meeting the mentor, and that's when he calls Chinky. That's what I think.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
can
Yeah. I've gotten Cheeky slash someone here. It's the
talk to
mentor
someone.
too.
Uh,
Yeah.
and this wonderfully plays out the entire film, because whenever uh, Munna has, or Murli, he is sort of stuck in a conundrum. Uh, he's there with Dr. Suman chatting it out. Uh,
Yeah.
so I really like that his romantic love interest, which is the plot B of the film, also comes in very closely with the plot A of the film.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. It's introduced in the first act itself. And they've not made her just a subplot character, but also the mentor character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that she guides him throughout medical school. She tells him what the do's and don'ts are. And she also contributes to the subplot in a big way. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So I felt that was meeting the mentor, which
Hmm.
what happens is once, and then the moment comes where they Munna's father discovers the lie. He comes to know the truth.
Yeah.
Because Chinky's dad, Dr. Asthana, who is the sort of the antagonist of our film, he
Yeah.
really berates them, disrespects them, is insulting towards Murli. And
Hmm.
that's when, and after that, when Munna decides that he's going to become a doctor no matter what, because
Yeah.
he felt so hurt about how his father felt. Um,
Yeah.
and they've done that in the way in the movie where there's the pagadi which his dad doesn't wear while leaving
Yeah.
the
A
house.
mark of respect. Yeah.
Yeah, a mark of respect. He doesn't wear that while leaving, and it really
Yeah.
hurt him. And that's when he decides
Yeah.
that he's going to become a doctor no matter what now.
Yeah.
And he's going to
Yeah.
show it to
Yeah.
Dr. Nathana. So I thought that was a very concrete crossing the threshold moment.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So that is our act one.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
and
think, if I'm
then,
not wrong, this was the first 30 minutes of the movie. Uh, I could be wrong, but vaguely I remember this.
yeah, must be. I don't remember. I which is a good thing, I think, because I wasn't looking at the clock, which means I was quite invested in the film. I
Yeah.
wasn't even looking at my phone. I wasn't on two screens, big screen and small screen at the same time. So,
Okay.
hmm.
And now after this, which is the next beat of tests, allies, enemies,
Yeah.
you have a lot of sort of small sequences, which is about, uh, getting the entrance exam cleared to the hospital where he's going to get admitted, getting admission into the college, meeting this woman, Dr. Suman, who we know
Hmm.
is also chinky, but he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So there is
No.
inherent juiciness to that. Uh,
Yeah.
at a
And I'm
certain,
gonna pause you there. Pause you. I'm gonna ask you to pause there.
yeah,
Uh, what it's interesting. You said juiciness, so I want to break that down again, just because technique, like for
yeah,
our audience,
yeah,
is one important technique which all films inherently have is keeping a secret which the audience knows and the character doesn't know. So the idea behind doing this is we are constantly on tenterhooks about when that secret is going to come out. And this is a trick you have to have in any scene, in any movie where you want to have a lot of drama. You're always going to see secrets. And those secrets don't have to be big secrets. They can be played out very lightly. Like in this film, it's done with a touch of like lightheartedness. It's funny. But you're still waiting. You're like, oh, this is going to blow up in his face. So giving information to the audience, but not to the character, makes the audience feel a little more in the loop, in the know. It makes them one step ahead of the character, which always makes you more invested in the film. And B, it also creates conflict for the plot because you're waiting, like this is going to blow up, and it gives you many opportunities to play around with it. So that is an important hack I want to highlight over here.
can I be very honest? I
Hmm.
feel the most unsure about this technique in while writing because I'm
Really?
constantly assessing, or should the audience know this information or should they not? Should they or should they not? Should they? And I'm always like, will the scene be more interesting if they know it or will they not know it? So, and I find in whatever the writer rooms I have been in, this is always the biggest point of debate because
Hmm.
we see both merits, um,
Yeah.
both sides, and I find it personally very confusing, but also very juicy. Again, juicy, uh, to
Yeah.
to think about at most at length, because,
Hmm.
like you said, it affects engagement while watching.
Right. Yeah. I think it may work better depending on how quick the payoff is. For
Hmm.
example, this is the same idea, which I'm going to break down later, of Hitchcock's Bomb Under the Table, right?
Hmm.
So, where the idea is that there's a family sitting for breakfast, and there's a bomb under the table. The family doesn't know that there's a bomb under the table, but the audience knows. And one person gets up, they're like, okay, I'm going to leave. They come back saying, I forgot this. And you're just waiting for everyone to leave the table because just if the bomb explodes, like you want no one to be there. Right.
Yeah.
And that is that constant, like, my heart is in my mouth, fearful moment. So
Yeah.
it works very well in a scene because you can build a lot of tension.
Hmm.
But the risk you run doing it across a film is that the joke gets repetitive or the secret gets repetitive. You're like, अरे यार अभी तो बता दो मतलब क्या होने वाला है या move it forward.
Hmm.
So you have to know the right time to reveal that information. So at a
Hmm.
scene level, it works very quickly because you know that information is going to be revealed at the end of the scene and you can really hold tension.
Hmm.
But doing it across the length of the film, where the whole idea is to constantly be building up the scene, one scene after another, using the same secret over and over to build conflict may not be the right idea because it leads to boredom,
Okay.
frankly.
So we were talking about the test allies and enemies. We spoke about
Yeah.
meeting Dr. Suman. Uh,
Yeah.
we also see him start asserting his dominance in the college, whether it's be like
Hmm.
through the ragging sequence or just,
Yeah.
how he is just like getting a separate bed for himself, getting a fridge, like almost the small
Yeah.
dingy hostel room is like a new,
Yeah.
new fancy room. Uh,
Yeah.
or even the getting through that class where they have to make an incision through that scalpel. Uh,
Hmm.
So I would say these are these small tests which keep coming his way. Um,
Yeah.
he he definitely has allies who are like the his roommates. So this was essentially where our act two had started, and then we talk about the next two moments in a hero's journey, which is your approach to the inmost cave and the ordeal. Um,
Mhm.
I personally couldn't make out one after the other. Uh, I couldn't figure out, oh, this stage got over and this one started right now. Uh, and I think they've sort of intertwined these moments because what is approach to the inmost cave is that where your main protagonist sort of comes face to face with his innermost fear or like his flaw, and he realizes, oh, the problem is sort of me, like so that really doesn't happen in the movie till the very end of the film, in this one at least.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they have small realizations about he has, and
Hmm.
I think that I can classify into this along with the ordeal because he's really
Hmm.
thrown into a lot of different things, which he honestly did not expect. That he he was such a daft guy when he realized that, oh, medicine to aise ho jayega. you know so so um and a couple of sequences play out in that way where he is comforting the young suicidal lover, or there is the comatose patient Anand Bhai. These all sort of moments where he realized that this profession is not easy. um
Hmm.
Especially we can see that with Anand Bhai because he really realizes that the tricks that he used with other people did not work.
Hmm.
Uh, but he still gets a little bit of glimmer from him when he blinks, and so that
Yeah.
that keeps the story going forward.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that he deals all of these situations. He deals with his own bhaigiri way. So
Hmm.
that's that. I think so. I would say that for me, that those were the uh, approach to the inmost cave and ordeal. And here,
Yeah.
he also sort of gets a bait that if he'll clear the exams, he'll get to meet Chinky,
Hmm.
and that he challenges Dr. Asthana that,
Yeah. That's your midpoint.
yeah, that he challenges Dr. Asthana that I'm going to ace these exams no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I will become a doctor. I will marry your daughter.
Yeah.
And Asthana's like, मैं उसकी वाट लगा दूंगा. So there you've established from hating him to really wanting to get rid of this guy. Like initially, Dr. Asthana's he's the antagonist of the film,
Yeah.
but he's annoyed at his presence. But I think at this point, he's really actively decided to take steps.
Hmm.
So I think there's rising action in that point.
Yeah.
The stakes have gone up, like the conflict has gone up. The antagonist has really up what up the trouble. Our
Hmm.
protagonist gonna
Up
face.
the ante. Yeah.
Up, yeah. Yes, words that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then comes the moment of reward, which is the
Mm.
next step in our hero's journey, where I thought the Anand Bhai blinking was a good reward for him. Like he
Mm.
realized that there is some hope. He understands now these areas of life. Um,
Yeah.
Being able to help Zahir, Jimmy Shergill's character, when that song "Dekh Le" happens,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
realizes it make them smile. And I think this he doesn't notice this, but as an audience, we notice that the entire hospital sort of becomes his fan in some way. uh,
Mm.
so they had that sequence where the kids, all the students आपस में were like, अरे मेरे को भी जादू की चप्पी दे दे,
हाँ, हाँ.
and अरे टेंशन नहीं लेने का रे, like so we understand the entire hospital is sort of coming around him,
Yeah.
and that's a big reward for him as a character, which he doesn't clock it. But I think as
Yeah.
an audience, we can clock that, oh, this is the kind of impact our main characters had on the world, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, so I thought that was a interesting, it's a sort of twisted reward, like because it's not a big reward, which like
Yeah.
generally these films have, but it came in like small moments.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next point in the journey is the road back, and
Hmm.
where he realizes that mera kaam ho gaya, I can now leave and not be able to do
Hmm.
it. Uh, and he is now going to leave the college, but for some reason, Dr. Suman, who he's had a crush on, she tells, at least complete your studies. Like this hospital
Yeah.
needs you. Come on, like don't leave us.
Yeah.
And he's about to be rusticated. That's by Dr. Asthana. I thought
Hmm.
this could be the road back. And but then there's a moment of the resurrection, which is our next step in the hero's journey, where he decides that once Dr. Suman has told him that don't go, he decides, okay, nobody can throw me away. So even if he's being rusticated, he jumps from the first floor and
Yeah.
and continues to stay in the hospital. And
Yeah.
and this is the moment where we also realize that the girl has fallen in love with him. The entire hospital saves him from the police. You know, like they have the matron shutting
Hmm.
the doors, and then there's the final challenge thrown at him, which is like there'll be three professors taking your viva, and then he appears for that test, and he did whatever that he cheated in that as well, which is done throughout the film. But in that moment, he has that final realization that this is not for me. I
Hmm.
cannot go through this because he just witnessed the death of a patient the previous night, and he realizes that this is not for this. And the final return with the elixir is when I think after he leaves college, I think for the audience, it's Anand Bhai moving. There is
Hmm.
the speech of Dr. Suman. And then finally, his parents coming around saying they're really proud of him. His dad
Yeah.
wearing the pagdi. And finally, like having the actual meet cute with Chinky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like I thought that was the hero's journey of this film. It's not clear.
Yeah.
It's not the most clear, but if we have to retrofit it, I think it makes sense a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And I also think the reason we don't have a very evident hero's journey in this is because the character doesn't overcome his flaw in this
Hmm.
movie. He realizes he has a flaw.
Hmm.
I think that is his arc.
Hmm.
His arc is not going from I'm someone who's scared to becoming learning how to be brave.
Hmm.
He's someone who's almost has this very lackadaisical attitude towards everything in life and thinks chalega to
Hmm.
realizing कि मतलब ये lackadaisical attitude चलता नहीं है क्योंकि इससे जान जाती है
Hmm.
literally.
Hmm.
तो he's like medicine कोई मतलब खेल नहीं है, हम जिंदगी के साथ खेल नहीं खेल सकते हैं.
Yeah.
That's his character arc, right? Learning how to take things seriously.
Hmm. Or it's not one of those definite goals which we see in like say an action adventure movie where you find 5 clues when you have to find 10 clues. Like it's like there is no big tangible reward as such. Like
Hmm.
the the he set out on this journey is because he wanted to win the respect back of his dad. So
Yeah.
that's an intangible concept.
Hmm.
So I guess
Yeah.
that also comes through.
Yeah. And he wins that respect of his dad at the end of it, regardless. Not by becoming a doctor, but by
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah.
His dad never said be a doctor. His dad said be honest.
Yeah.
And when he admits to lying
Mm.
and when he takes responsibility for himself, the arc is complete. So
Mm.
it's not about like, and this is another screenwriting rule, right? That we say that the goal is external. The actual goal that the character has to achieve is the character arc. And once they have arced, whether they achieve the goal or not is kind of irrelevant to the film because
Yeah.
you're not following them for that. Like you said, it's not a action film where you have to kill the bad guy.
Mm.
The character just needs to realize that he is flawed. So that's it. And we will see you on another episode of Breakdown Besties. And if there's any film you'd like us to break down for you, put it down in the comments. We're always looking for ideas. And let us know. See you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.